Hi everyone. In last session, we have discussed about some properties of hydrogen peroxide. There about PBS, hydrogen peroxide oxidizes lead sulfide to lead sulfate. About that, I given clear explanation. Now, second property we'll discuss. Hydrogen peroxide oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. Next property is hydrogen peroxide H2O2 oxidizes H2O2 oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. Ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. This statement first we should know. This statement we have to remember, and we should know the formulas of ferrous sulfate and also ferric sulfate. Without knowing formulas of ferrous sulfate and ferric sulfate, it is not possible to write a perfect equation. So first you should know the statement, what they are given as per experimental findings, and you should know the formulas of ferrous sulfate and also ferric sulfate. I think writing formulas. In ferrous sulfate, oxidation number of iron, it is +2. Sulfate ion charge is -2. Similarly, ferric sulfate, there is a +3 ion in ferric sulfate, and sulfate ion, it is -2. In both, the sulfate ion is common. See here I am writing Fe +2 and SO4 -2. This is ferrous sulfate. So formula from this is we can write FeSO4 only. +2 -2 get cancelled. Otherwise, simplest ratio if you take, you can get ferrous sulfate FeSO4. Here ferric sulfate, ferric ion charge, it is +3. Sulfate ion charge is -2. So crisscross. So this charge should be written below iron. This charge means +3, or 3 is written below sulfate. So Fe2SO4 taken thrice. This is a formula for ferric sulfate. If you know the formulas of ferrous sulfate and ferric sulfate, we can easily write the equation now. See, basic skeleton equation in last class only I given for hydrogen peroxide oxidizing property. Here H2O2 first dissociate to give H2O plus nascent oxygen. Very active oxygen, it is nascent oxygen. Then ferrous sulfate is converted into ferric sulfate in acidic medium. So H2O2 oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. Otherwise, here what we can write, acidified we can write. Acidified ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. So here I am taking FeSO4 along with some sulfuric acid H2SO4, and here the produced nascent oxygen now combines with this mixture. So here ferrous sulfate is converted to ferric sulfate. Ferric sulfate formula I am writing first. Fe2SO4 taken thrice. So how many irons are there in ferric sulfate? 2 irons. So that here I am taking 2 moles of FeSO4. And how many sulfates are there in this? 3 sulfates. Already 2 sulfates are present here. One sulfate from sulfuric acid. So that we can get Fe2SO4 taken thrice. That is ferric sulfate. And remaining these 2 hydrogens combines with one nascent oxygen and forms H2O. If you write the total reaction, we can get overall reaction. See here this nascent oxygen get cancelled. Then here water molecule is present product side. There also water molecules present at product side, so that those can be added. So here H2O2 now reacts with acidified acidified ferrous sulfate means 2FeSO4 plus this H2SO4 give rise to here Fe2SO4 taken thrice plus here one H2O, there one H2O. So total 2 water molecules. This is the net equation. So examination point of view, if you remember, this is enough, but for understanding, the total equation or oxidizing property, we should take two-step reaction. This is the first step. In first step, there is a decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to H2 and nascent oxygen. In second step, that nascent oxygen is added to ferrous sulfate. So here H2O2 is oxidizing agent, Fe2SO4 is a reducing agent. So total reaction is this one. So what is the ratio of hydrogen peroxide and ferrous sulfate? 1:2 ratio. 1 mole of hydrogen peroxide requires 2 moles of ferrous sulfate. From this, there is a chance to ask different types of questions. From first part means first year basic concepts. From first year basic concept, we have some reaction based questions they may ask. Here see, for the same I'm writing this question. Understand how many moles of how many moles of how many moles of FeSO4 is required to complete reaction with 0.5 moles of H2O2, like that they may ask. So here I am writing how many moles of ferrous sulfate is required. Ferrous sulfate is required to complete the reaction with 0.5 moles of hydrogen peroxide. So here, see, first of all, you should know this equation. Without writing this equation, without knowing the number of moles of hydrogen peroxide and ferrous sulfate, it is not possible to do that. So base is this one. How hydrogen peroxide oxidizes sulfuric acid, that you should know. And after writing total equation, in that total equation, how many moles of hydrogen peroxide and how many moles of ferrous sulfate are present, or how many moles of hydrogen peroxide reacted with how many moles of ferrous sulfate, that you should know. So as per this, here I am writing H2O2. H2O2 is to ferrous sulfate I am writing. So here, as per this reaction, balanced chemical equation, here 1:2. But how many moles of hydrogen peroxide? 0.5 moles of hydrogen peroxide. 0.5 moles if you take. How many? Ferrous sulfate. How many moles of ferrous sulfate is required? That is another question. How many moles of ferrous sulfate is required to complete the reaction with 0.5 moles of H2O2 they are asking. So if you do here cross multiplication, you can get answer. 0.5 into 2 by 1. So answer is the number of moles of FeSO4 equal to FeSO4 equal to 0.5 into 2 by 1. 0.5 into 2 by 1, that is nothing but 1 mole. 1 mole of ferrous sulfate is required to complete the reaction with 0.5 moles of hydrogen peroxide. So like these questions they may ask. For solving like these questions, I should know this reaction, this balanced chemical equation. Okay. Then next reaction is H2O2 oxidizes acidified potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. So next reaction statement I am writing here. All statements you should remember. All statements you should remember. So without that statement, it is not at all possible to write a reaction, because statement is the reference. Statements are experimental findings, what they are given in reference book says. So this is not written as per my wish. So in textbook or reference books they are given, what they are given is here H2O2 oxidizes H2O2 oxidizes acidified potassium acidified potassium ferro potassium ferrocyanide potassium ferrocyanide to H2O2 oxidizes acidified potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. Potassium ferricyanide. Ferricyanide. This statement you should know. Similar to earlier reaction, first I am writing H2O2 decomposition reaction. H2O2 decomposes to give water plus nascent oxygen. So in all oxidizing properties, one thing you have to remember. Always at product side, you can observe water molecules in final reaction. If water molecules are present in final reaction, then it should be oxidizing property of hydrogen peroxide. If you observe oxygen gas at product side, that is reducing property. In reducing properties, we will discuss that also. H2O2 dissociate into H2O and nascent oxygen. Now, potassium ferrocyanide I should know. So, first of all, should know writing formulas. Potassium ferrocyanide K4 FeCN taken 6. This is potassium ferrocyanide because here oxygen number of iron is plus 2. Because here, as per redox reaction concepts, each potassium carries plus 1 charge, 4 potassiums plus 4. Just you assume it as X, and each cyanide carries minus 1. So minus 6 equal to 0. So X equal to how much? Plus 2. Plus 2 iron is always a ferro. Plus 3 iron is ferri. So this is potassium ferrocyanide. This is a ferro. And what is ferri? Ferri is K3 FeCN taken 6. Potassium ferri. This is ferri. Why it is ferri? Because the ferric ion is present. Plus 3 ion is present here. Here potassiums, each potassium plus 1, so that plus 3 for 3 potassiums. And we have to calculate oxygen number of iron. So that I am assuming it as X. Each cyanide minus 1, so minus 6 equal to 0. So X equal to how much? 3 will get. So plus 3 iron is ferri or ferric cyanide, plus 2 iron is ferrocyanide. So first of all, you should know the formulas of ferrocyanide and ferricyanide. That is ferrocyanide. So that only I am writing here. K4 FeCN taken 6. But acidified. Acidified means it also taking support from acid. H2O. H2O plus this nascent oxygen. Sorry, H2SO4. Acidified, no? Acidified means H2SO4 we should take. H2SO4 plus this nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen. So it is converted to ferricyanide. It is converted to ferricyanide. See here, ferricyanide formula I am writing first. Already I give an explanation what is ferrocyanide, what is ferricyanide. So K3 FeCN taken 6. This is potassium ferricyanide. So here 4 potassiums are present, here 3 potassiums are present. So here what I am taking, here 2 potassiums, 2 potassium ferrocyanide if you take, 2 into 4, 8 potassiums will be there. This is common. FeCN taken 6 is common here and there. Only there is a difference in potassiums. So 2 into 4, 8 potassiums are there. So here also I am giving 2. 2 into 3, 6 potassiums. Remaining 2 potassiums are there. No, here extra. Those 2 potassiums combines with this SO4 and forms K2SO4. K2SO4. What is the remaining now? SO4 is move along with the potassium. So remaining is H2. These two hydrogens combines with this nascent oxygen and forms H2O. So if you write the total reaction now, net reaction, this nascent oxygen get cancelled. Then here H2O2 plus 2 K4 FeCN taken 6 potassium ferrocyanide along with the H2SO4 sulfuric acid give rise to 2 K3 FeCN taken 6 potassium ferricyanide and K2SO4 potassium sulfate plus here one water molecule, here also one water molecule. So 2 moles of water. Here also you can observe at product side you got the water molecule. So whenever water molecules are present at product side during reaction, we can say it is oxidizing property. So this is next reaction. H2O2 oxidizes acidified potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. So two-step reaction, if you remember, it is easy to understand and it is easy to pick up proper options. So here also, what is the ratio? 1 is to 2 ratio. 1 mole of H2O2 reacted with 2 moles of potassium ferrocyanide. Okay. Then next reaction is it oxidizes potassium iodide to iodine. Potassium iodide to iodine. Here also acidified. Next reaction I am writing. Hydrogen peroxide oxidizes the acidified potassium iodide. Acidified potassium iodide. Here I am writing first. Next property. H2O2 oxidizes acidified potassium iodide. Acidified potassium iodide to iodine. To iodine. So potassium iodide formula we should know that is Ki, and iodine formula also we should know this is I2. Skeleton reaction is same. Skeleton reaction is same. H2O2 gives rise to H2O plus nascent oxygen. So this reaction I am removing here. So potassium iodide I am taking now. Potassium iodide along with this. See here, potassium iodide plus acidified, so that H2SO4 plus this nascent oxygen which is produced here gives. So here also you can expect here one potassium is there. One potassium when combines with H2SO4, it will not give potassium sulfate. Potassium sulfate formula, K plus and SO4 minus 2. So what is the formula now? K2SO4. Potassium sulfate formula is K2SO4. So that to convert this potassium into potassium sulfate, there should be 2 potassium. So that here I am taking 2 moles. So 2 potassiums with SO4 give rise to K2SO4. So what is the remaining here? 2 iodines. So it is changed to iodine. So I2. So what is the remaining? This nascent oxygen, these 2 hydrogens. Eliminates as water. So total reaction is now nascent oxygen get cancelled. So H2O2 1 mole, H2O2 1 mole combines with 2 moles of potassium iodide in the presence of H2SO4 and produces K2SO4 plus iodine plus 2 water molecules. 2 water molecules. This is the next reaction. Potassium hydrogen peroxide oxidizes acidified potassium iodide to iodine. Two-step reactions is easy to understand. If you know to write two-step reactions, it is easy to understand. This is net reaction. First step. Second. First step is common for all. In second step only, as per given statement, we have to write reactants and products. Then after we have to balance. Then next reactions are normal. It oxidizes sulfates to sulfates, and H2O2 oxidizes nitrates to nitrates, arsenides to arsenates, and mercury to mercuric oxide. Then H2S to sulfur. So different reactions are there. Similar to this, these are somewhat big reactions. There is nothing. If you know the statement and if you know writing equation with respect to redox reactions, it is very easy to write, but you should know some idea. Then next properties I am writing here. Hydrogen peroxide oxidizes sulfides to sulfates. Sulfate ion I am writing here. Sulfate means maybe sodium sulfate or potassium sulfate, anything. But sulfate ion you should know. What is sulfate ion? Here I am writing. Sulfite. Sulfite means SO3 minus 2. It is from sulfuric acid. Sulfurous acid. H2SO3. If we remove 2 hydrogens, we can get SO3 minus 2. It is ion from sulfurous acid. Sulfides to sulfates. Sulfate means it is from sulfuric acid. It is SO4 minus 2. Then nitrites. Nitrate means it is NO2 minus 1. Nitrate is nothing but NO3 minus 1. So this sulfides to sulfates, nitrates to nitrates, arsenides to arsenates. So here first I am writing these two reactions. H2O2 hydrogen peroxide oxidizes sulfides means SO3 minus 2 to SO4 minus 2. So here, how many oxygens are different? Only one oxygen. So that oxygen is from hydrogen peroxide. H2O2 gives rise to H2O plus nascent oxygen. This is common reaction, Skeleton reaction. Then SO3 without any support. In previous reactions, we have taken support from sulfuric acid. Acidified potassium ferrocyanide to it is converted to potassium ferricyanide. Acidified ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. Acidified potassium iodide to iodine. Like that reactions are written. But here directly we can write this nascent oxygen here. So SO3 minus 2 to SO4 minus 2. So this is a reaction. These two get cancelled. H2O2 plus SO3 minus 2 you rise to SO4 minus 2 and H2O. See here H2 again. Sometimes in multiple choice questions they ask among the following which property is oxidizing property of H2O2 or which property is reducing property of H2O2. For that what is the shortcut without seeing oxidation reduction reactions if you observe blind sign is in the reaction part if product side hydrogen peroxide produces water at product side then we can say it is oxidizing property. If hydrogen peroxide produces oxygen gas at product side, then we can say it is reducing property. Here in all these reactions you can observe water molecules are produced. Similarly, hydrogen peroxide H2O2 oxidizes H2O2 oxidizes nitrates NO2 minus to NO3 minus. It is nitrous acid ion, it is nitric acid. Here H2O2 you raise to H2O plus nascent oxygen and here NO2 minus I am writing NO2 minus with nascent oxygen produces NO3 minus. Then total reaction is nascent oxygen get cancelled. So H2O2 plus NO2 minus nitrate ion you raise to NO3 minus this nitrate ion plus H2O. So these are the reactions, oxidizing properties of hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen peroxide when acts as the bleaching agent. Bleaching agent means what? It can decolorize the color of organic matter, organic vegetable matter. So it is due to oxidation only. So hydrogen peroxide acts as bleaching agent due to oxidation. Due to oxidation. Bleaching action of hydrogen peroxide is due to what? Bleaching action of hydrogen peroxide. Bleaching action of hydrogen peroxide. H2O2 is due to oxidation. Due to oxidizing property or oxidation. See here, hydrogen peroxide, same as this I am writing, H2O plus this nascent oxygen. Then if you write here, organic vegetable matter, which contains some color. So these nascent oxidants when added to organic vegetable color matter, then we can get colorless organic matter. This is nothing but bleaching action. This is nothing but bleaching action. So bleaching action is due to oxidation property or oxidizing property of hydrogen peroxide. So these are the oxidizing properties. Then we have reducing properties also. Reducing properties of hydrogen peroxide is due to this reaction. See here I'm writing reducing properties. Reducing properties of hydrogen peroxide. Reducing properties of H2O2. Whenever somewhat strong oxidizing agent is present along with H2O2, means compared to hydrogen peroxide, oxidizing nature or oxidizing strength of that particular compound is more. Then that particular compound acts as oxidizing agent and hydrogen peroxide acts as reducing agent. So in comparison means hydrogen peroxide oxidizing strength is less compared to other compound. Then hydrogen peroxide acts as reducing agent. Okay, here in the reducing properties, it can decompose in this way. H2O2 decompose to give 2 H plus ions plus 2 electrons along with this O2 gas, oxygen gas. But here 2 H plus ion when combines with 2 electrons, we can write it as directly 2 nascent hydrogens. Like this also we can write. This is the basic skeleton reaction which is responsible for reducing property of hydrogen peroxide. What is the responsible reaction for oxidizing property of hydrogen peroxide? This one. Here, I don't know, H2O2 give rise to H2O and nascent oxygen. These nascent oxygens are furtherly added in next step. Here, these nascent hydrogens are furtherly added in next step. So that these nascent hydrogens are consumed. Oxygen is remained. Here, nascent oxygens are consumed. Water molecules are remained. So that whenever water molecules are present at product side, that is oxidizing property. Whenever oxygen is remained at the product side, then it is reducing property. So similar to oxidizing properties, here also we have some reducing properties. For that also we have to remember the statements, what they are given in references. The statement we have to remember and we have to practice the reaction. We have to write reaction. So first one is hydrogen peroxide reduces acidified potassium permanganate to manganese salt. First reducing property H2O2 reduces. Acidified, again we are taking support from acid. Acidified potassium permanganate formula you should know. Potassium permanganate to manganese plus 2 salts. MnSO4 like Mn plus 2 salt. Here potassium is present, no? Potassium is converted to potassium salt. Because the acidified solution means here we should take sulfuric acid support. In sulfuric acid we have sulfate ions, so that those sulfate ions combine with potassium and forms potassium sulfate. Those sulfate ions only combines with manganese and forms manganese salt, that is MnSO4. Here Mn plus 7 is present. Oxygen number is Mn plus 7. Mn plus 7 is changed to Mn plus 2 means it is nothing but reduction only. It is undergoing reduction or it reduces in the presence of hydrogen peroxide. See, I am writing the reaction. H2O2 first produces two nascent hydrogens, H2O2 give rise to two nascent hydrogens, then O2. Like this it can decompose in reducing properties. Potassium permanganate, KMnO4. Potassium permanganate acidified means H2SO4. Along with this, again I written here oxygen, this is not oxygen, hydrogen. Nascent hydrogen. So these two nascent hydrogens give rise to. So potassium permanganate is converted to potassium sulfate and manganese sulfate. For potassium sulfate, for writing potassium sulfate, we should take two potassiums here. So two potassiums with sulfuric acid SO4 minus 2 ions, we can get K2SO4. Similarly, Mn, two manganese are there, two manganese are changed to MnSO4. So total how many sulfates are present here? In potassium sulfate, one sulfate ion. In manganese sulfate, two sulfate ions. Total 3 sulfates are present. These 3 sulfates are from sulfuric acid only. So that here I am taking 3 moles. 3H2. These 3 sulfates are reacted with potassium and also Mn. And now remaining is H2 here. These H2s and here hydrogen, not again I written oxygen here, it is also hydrogen, two nascent hydrogens. These two nascent hydrogens combines with remaining 2 into 4, 8 oxygens are remained here. These potassiums are eliminated as potassium sulfate, manganese also eliminated as manganese sulfate. The remaining here is oxygens, 2 into 4, 8 oxygens. These 8 oxygens now combines with here remained oxygens, here oxygens. So here remained oxygens are 6. So how many oxygens are required to eliminate all these oxygens as water molecule? So 2 into 4 means 8. 8 water molecules I would write here. 8 H2O. So 8 H2O means 16 hydrogens are required. Among 16 hydrogens, 6 hydrogens are present here. 6 hydrogens are present here. So that remaining 10 hydrogens from here. 10 hydrogens is from here. So that one H2O2 produces 2 hydrogens. So that I am taking 5. 5H2O2 give rise to 5 into 2, 10 nascent hydrogens and 5 O2. Like this we can write. Otherwise, directly what I am writing here 5H2O2, here 10 nascent hydrogens, and here 5 O2. So these 10 nascent hydrogens again combines with this. So here instead of 2 I am writing 10. Now total reaction I have to write. So 10 nascent hydrogens, 10 nascent hydrogens get cancelled. So what is the remaining now? 5H2O2 plus 2 KMnO4 potassium permanganate, 3 sulfuric acid give rise to K2SO4 potassium sulfate plus 2 MnSO4 plus here 8H2O, then 5O2. So here oxygen gas is liberated. Water molecules also present, but along with oxygen, water molecules are present. But in oxidizing properties, there is no oxygen gas. Here oxygen gas is liberated, so that we can say it is reducing property. Similarly, we have one more reaction, that is H2O2 reduces acidified potassium dichromate to chromic salts. Here, same as this, H2O2 reduces acidified potassium dichromate formula also you should know, K2Cr2O7 to chromic salts. Chromic salts means Cr plus 3 salt. Here also potassiums are there. Potassiums combines with again sulfuric acid and forms potassium sulfate. Chromium also combines with SO4 minus 2 ions of sulfuric acid, forms chromic sulfate. Chromic sulfate formula you should know. What is chromic sulfate? Cr plus 3 and SO4 minus 2. So if you do crisscross, we get Cr2 SO4 taken thrice. This is chromic sulfate. Potassium sulfate formula you know. So for the same, if you write the reaction, here H2O2 give rise to 2 nascent hydrogens and O2. Similar to this our reaction, here I am taking K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4 acidified, and these hydrogens, 2 nascent, first I am writing, afterwards we will change this, give rise to all potassiums are converted to potassium sulfate, K2SO4 I am writing here. Then chromiums, 2 chromiums are there, so Cr2SO4 taken thrice. This is chromic sulfate. So now how many sulfates are present here? 1 sulfate in potassium sulfate, 3 sulfates in chromium sulfate, total 4. Those 4 are comes from sulfuric acid. Then how many oxygens are present here? 7 oxygens are present. So 7 oxygens are converted into 7H2O. So total how many hydrogens? 14 hydrogens are present. Among 14 hydrogens, 4 into 2, 8 hydrogens from here sulfuric acid. How many hydrogens are remain? 6 hydrogens. Those 6 hydrogens are from here. 6 hydrogens means we should take 3H2O2. So here 6 nascent hydrogens, here 3 O2. So here I am writing 6. These 6 hydrogens now combined. So total reaction if you write, 6 nascent hydrogen, 6 nascent hydrogen get cancelled. Here 3 H2O2 plus K2 Cr2 O7 plus 4 H2SO4. I am adding both the reactions. Give rise to K2SO4 plus Cr2 SO4 taken thrice plus 7 H2O plus how many? 3 O2. 3 O2. This is a total reaction. So in this way you have to remember reducing properties of H2O2 with potassium dichromate. Potassium hydrogen peroxide reduces acidified potassium dichromate to chromic salt. So in this way we can remember. This is reducing property of hydrogen peroxide.